Try this right now. You're alone, or close to it. Now think of a secret, a real one, the kind you'd only tell someone you trust completely. And notice what happens to your voice when you imagine saying it. It drops, it softens, it almost disappears. Even though there's no one to overhear you, even though saying it at normal volume would change nothing, you instinctively whisper. You do this constantly, every day of your life, and you have never once stopped to ask why. Why does the human body have a separate mode of speech that turns on only when something is intimate or dangerous, even when no one is listening? The answer is older than language itself. And once you understand what whispering actually is, you'll start hearing it everywhere, including inside your own head. Start with something almost no one knows. Humans are the only species on Earth that whispers. Not the only animal that makes quiet sounds. Plenty do. But true whispering, the deliberate use of voiceless air to make speech without engaging the vocal cords, has never been documented in any other animal. Chimpanzees don't whisper. Dolphins don't. Parrots, which mimic almost any human sound, do not whisper to each other in the wild. Researchers studying this concluded that whispering is biologically unique to humans, requiring a specialized neural switch laid over normal speech. Your brain has a separate program just for whispering. It exists in no other creature on Earth. To understand why it had to exist, picture the world your ancestors lived in. For 300,000 years, they lived in small bands where being heard mattered more than almost anything. The wrong sound could attract a predator. But there was a third category just as important. Information meant for one specific person and no one else. The location of food, a warning about someone who couldn't be trusted, a private agreement, a piece of knowledge that, if overheard by the wrong member of your band, could destroy your alliances or your life. Normal speech couldn't solve this. Even quiet speech carries pitch and tone 20 feet through a silent night. So evolution built a separate channel, one that left almost no audible signature beyond an arm's length. And the moment that channel existed, everything about human social life changed. Whispering, in evolutionary terms, was the invention of privacy. For most of history, there were no walls, no doors, no closed rooms. Almost nothing you did was hidden. But whispering created an invisible bubble around two people that didn't depend on architecture. It allowed alliances. It allowed honesty. It allowed the slow, secret building of trust between two individuals in plain sight. Anthropologists find whispering in every human culture almost always tied to the same three functions: sharing dangerous information, expressing intimate emotion, and conspiring against a third party. From the Hadza of Tanzania to the streets of Tokyo, we all whisper for the same three reasons. Out of curiosity, drop the name of your city in the comments. I genuinely want to see how far across the map this same behavior reaches. And in every culture, the listener responds the same way. They lean in. They go silent. Their attention sharpens. Here's why. Hearing a whisper activates the amygdala, the part of your brain that detects threats and processes emotional urgency. Normal speech engages your language centers. Whispered speech engages your alarm system. Your brain treats a whisper as more biologically significant than ordinary speech, even when the words are identical. There is no neutral whisper. The moment someone leans in and lowers their voice, your limbic system fires and your brain braces for information with higher stakes. This is why a whispered "I love you" feels different from a spoken one. This is why whispered ASMR has hundreds of millions of viewers. Your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do around a fire tens of thousands of years ago. Now, the strangest part. Why do you do it when no one is around? Why does your voice drop when you read something disturbing out loud, alone? Why do you find yourself whispering at 3 a.m. in your empty kitchen even though you live alone? Psychologists call it internalized social presence. For 300,000 years, your ancestors almost never experienced true solitude. Your brain evolved assuming someone, somewhere, could always be listening. That assumption is built so deep into your neural architecture that it cannot be switched off. When you say something sensitive, even in an empty room, your nervous system runs the same calculation it's run for hundreds of thousands of years. Could this be overheard? Could it hurt me if the wrong ear caught it? The answer in modern life is almost always no. The room is empty, the door is locked. But your body doesn't know that. The empty room is not empty to your nervous system. It is full of ghosts. There's something deeper too, and almost no one talks about it. A whisper strips away the melody and vibration of normal speech. What's left is pure air, shaped into language. Because the brain can't read emotional tone from a whisper, it relies on something else. Closeness. The listener has to physically lean in just to receive the message. They have to want it. They have to consent with their body to the closeness it requires. That's why whispered speech feels more honest, even when it isn't. It's why deathbed confessions are whispered. It's why prayers are whispered. It's why lovers whisper in the dark. The whisper isn't a quieter version of speech. It's its own kind of communication, evolved for the moments that matter most. Birth, death, love, fear, secret. So the next time you catch yourself whispering for no reason, alone, in a room with no one in it, pay attention to what you're actually doing. You are running a piece of evolutionary machinery that exists in no other species. A program written into your nervous system tens of thousands of generations before you were born. The moment your voice drops, your brain reaches back to a campfire on a plane you have never seen, where someone leaned in to tell someone else something that could not be heard by anyone else, and the entire future of human social life depended on it. You are still doing that. Every single time. If this made you notice your own voice differently, the like button really does help this find the people who'd feel it too. And in the comments, when was the last time you whispered something out loud to yourself, alone? You don't have to tell us the words, just the situation. Subscribe if you want to keep noticing the things you've been doing your whole life without realizing they were strange. The next one is going to find a habit you didn't even know you had.